If you're a Republican, you have to be biting your fingernails right now because your majority in the Senate has been reduced. There's a lot of enthusiasm on the Democratic side of the aisle. The Obama coalition seems to be coalescing back together again, and the Republicans are divided. And if you keep getting candidates out there who are more loyal to Steve Bannon's view of the party than, let's say, to the establishment view of the party, it makes those candidates much more difficult to elect. And if they can't get elected in Alabama, how are they going to get elected in, let's say, Nevada, which went for Hillary Clinton in 2016, or Arizona, which is a purple state, both of those states where you have two seats that are going to be highly contested? This has to keep Republicans up late at night worrying about whether they're going to be able to maintain the majority in the Senate, which nobody thought they would lose, but all of a sudden, that's potentially in jeopardy, as is the House of Representatives. Part of the loss in Alabama for the Republicans is simply because Roy Moore was too far out on the fringe. But at the same time, Donald Trump, spent political capital on his behalf, campaigned on his behalf, sort of made robocalls to get people out to vote on his behalf. So even if Roy Moore is sort of an outlier to some extent, it's still a repudiation of Donald Trump, and it casts a great deal of doubt on how powerful that sort of Donald Trump base of the Republican Party really is. Donald Trump and Steve Bannon took Trump's victory in 2016 as sort of this white working class base that's the most powerful juggernaut in American politics, and maybe they're wrong. So when you put up candidates who appeal only to the anger of that base, only to the extreme side of the Republican Party, you lose the middle. You lose the persuadables. You lose the people you need to put you over the top. And if you cede them to the Democrats, you're going to have problems. So the Republican Party has to figure out how to put up candidates that don't alienate those moderate voters, those independent voters, the suburban voters, the persuadable voters. If they do, they're going to have a fighting chance to be able to sort of regain their momentum. The problem is that Steve Bannon and Donald Trump are pulling them in the other direction. And that's where you have the political divide right now. There's so much resistance to Donald Trump on the Democrats and sort of in the middle of this country that he may actually be helping to congeal the Democratic base once again. And that's one thing we did see in Alabama, surprisingly, because this should be a ruby red state. You should not have a Democratic senator in Alabama. The very fact that they were able to pull this off, to thread the sort of voting needle on this, suggests that Donald Trump, combined with Democratic enthusiasm, may be good news for the Democratic Party.